Good morning. I'm Glenn, and I'm going to kick off our presentation for our CA1 project. For this project, we chose to work on the topic leadership. My teammates are Rigbert, Kaizong, and Elvin. For this presentation, we are going to go through the 3 types of leaderships, 5 types of power, and also go through some examples of real-life leaders who applied these traits through their work. There are 3 types of leaderships: autocratic, democratic, and free reign. Firstly, for autocratic leadership, the leader often makes decisions unilaterally and expects compliance from team members. They often maintain a strict control over the group. As for democratic leadership, the leader encourages participation and collaboration in decision making. They take into account feedback and input from team members and also foster a sense of shared responsibility. Lastly, for free rein leadership, leaders often take a hands-off approach, allowing team members to make decisions and work independently. This style can foster creativity, however, it may lack direction. Here are the 10 characteristics of a good leader: integrity, ability to delegate, communication, self-awareness, gratitude, learning agility, influence, empathy, courage, and respect. Now, we will go through the 5 types of powers: coercive, reward, referent, expert, and legitimate. For coercive power, it is conveyed through the fear of losing one's job. This power is obtained through threatening others. Reward power is conveyed through rewarding individuals for good work. This is done through giving bonuses, raises, promotions, and acknowledging the work done. For referent, it comes from being trusted and respected. We can gain referent power when others trust what we do and respect us. Next, expert power comes from one's experiences, skills, and knowledge. Lastly, legitimate power comes from having a position of power, such as being the boss or the leader. This power comes when employees in the company recognize the authority of the individual. I will now pass my time to Kaizong.
For one of the leaders that we're going to talk about leadership, the first example that we're going to talk about is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, the CEO of Apple. This article highlights Steve Jobs' significant role in saving Apple from near collapse 25 years ago and inspiring the lessons that today tech CEOs can learn from his experience. After Steve Jobs resigning from Apple in 1985 due to conflict within the company, the companies faced significant challenges, including a decline in profits due to their competition from IBM and Microsoft. Apple was also on the verge of bankruptcy at the time. However, when Steve Jobs came back, he was tasked to make Apple successful, which he succeeded in doing so. Some insights that we can learn from this article is to always acknowledge the importance of resilience and perseverance to bounce back from harsh setbacks. And when encountering challenges, it is important to take a step back, to rethink our strategies, and turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. And lastly, is to have the courage to make tough decisions instead of letting fear hold us back. So why is Steve Jobs relevant to topic 5, leadership? It's because he displayed expert power, which contributed to his ability to lead and innovate effectively at Apple, such as how he displayed great foresight in realizing that Apple had drifted away from its core mission, as well as recognize how partnerships from their competition can instead ensure the continued development of their products. Secondly, he also displayed autocratic leadership, where he demonstrated the leadership style by how he enabled quick and strategic decision making to turn Apple around within a year of his return. His decision making was also crucial for saving the company in order to quickly adapt to customer demands to minimize their profit losses. Therefore, this aligns with how autocratic leadership style may permit quick decision-making and produce better results when great speed is required. And lastly, to save Apple, Steve Jobs displayed characteristics of courage and influence, where he had to make bold decisions for Apple, such as by cutting down 70% of the company products and downsizing the management. And this could lead to potential backlash from stakeholders and disrupt operations, potentially affecting productivity. Additionally, after profiting the company again, Steve Jobs established a path for decades of innovation, inspiring employees to this day to embrace creativity and intelligence in their work. Therefore, Steve Jobs aligns with the topic 5. I'll be passing my time to Revert to talk about Richard Branson.
So, who is Richard Branson? Richard Branson is a successful businessman who is the founder of Virgin Group. The reason that he is successful is because of his adventurous spirit and innovative approach that have made him an important figure in the business world. The article we have chosen highlights on Branson's characteristics and his leadership. So some insights that we have learned from this article is that we should not assume that everything is going perfect. There may be errors along the way, and therefore, one should always help others and improve to ensure more effective work. We also understand that one should never be afraid of mistakes and make into learning opportunities and take the joy in their work life. Lastly, when someone does a commendable job, appreciate their efforts, emphasize their efforts and motivate others. Next slide. So relating back to what we have learned from topic 5, Richard Branson shows his reward power through various strategies that motivate and motivate his employees, enhancing their performance and engagement. He sets high goals and rewards which help create a sense of accomplishment. Branson also praises employees, obviously, to motivate others and encourage everyone to work harder. Richard Branson shows free rein leadership by allowing his executives and managers to work independently with little supervision. This means he teaches his team complete freedom to make decisions. Branson also improves job satisfaction and morale by believing that workers should be enjoyable for their work life. He recognizes and praises his staff, which boosts their spirits and helps keep talented people in the company. Richard Branson showed his ability to delegate and learning agility by allowing people to learn from their mistakes and take initiative. He sets goals but gives his teams the freedom to choose how to achieve them. Branson expects his teamwork to work towards the project goals while offering guidance along the way. This balance of support and independence highlights his skill in delegating and learning agility, which promotes growth, teamwork, and autonomy among his employees. Now I'll be passing my time to Ravi to talk about Frank Roosevelt.
This article is about Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of America, and how he led the United States of America through tough times such as the Great Depression and the Second World War. Some insights we can learn is to be bold and persistent when experimenting. This will demonstrate the importance for leaders to be creative, adaptable, and willing to try unconventional approaches, even in the face of daunting challenges. We should also learn to live with optimism, even in dire situations. Getting support and using resources well is also important. Roosevelt's 100-day plan shows how collaboration and different perspectives leads to better decisions. In relevancy to topic 5, Franklin D. Roosevelt displayed legitimate power by being elected president, giving him the authority to make key decisions and lead the United States of America through the Great Depression and World War II. Secondly, he demonstrated learning agility by how he was willing to try different methods, admit failures, and keep seeking solutions until he could save America from ruin. Furthermore, he demonstrated influence with how he had the ability to persuade people using logic, emotions through his campaigns, using strong, powerful impressions which lead to Franklin D. Roosevelt being elected. Lastly, he was a democratic leader and showed his democratic leadership by gathering a bipartisan team made up of Republicans and Democrats, including the first female Secretary of Labour, to discuss what became known as the 100 Days. Despite his authority, he sought congressional support, closed the nation's banks as part of his strategy, and informed US governors before taking action. This reflects his willingness to adjust tactics based on feedback and emphasizes the value of working together with colleagues to develop a plan for change. Before making decisions, he engages in consultation and two-way communication with his subordinates. I will now pass over the time to my friend Glenn.
From this presentation, we can learn about the importance of leadership and how it shapes how teams work together and achieve goals. These three leaders demonstrated different styles, like democratic, autocratic, and free reign. These styles offer various ways to guide people and group members. Ultimately, the chosen leadership style shapes the organizational culture, impacts productivity, and determines the efficiency and how well the organization can adapt to challenges and achieve its goals. Here are our list of references. And we will end the presentation here. Thank you.
Thank you.